recording and closing practice test. Question 1. Which answer most accurately identifies unauthorized use or control of money belonging to another person in a real estate transaction? Option A, dual agent. Option B, conversion. Option C, fiduciary duty. Option D, disclosure duty. The correct answer is option B, conversion. Strict trust-account controls are designed to prevent this harm. The misconduct goes beyond improper mixing and involves treating entrusted funds as one's own. Prompt restitution does not erase the original violation. Question 2. A question arising during offer review concerns transfer of contractual rights from one party to another. Which choice gives the best classification? Option A, statute of frauds. Option B, offer. Option C, assignment. Option D, executed contract. The correct answer is option C, assignment. The contract or law may restrict the transfer of contractual rights when personal performance is important. Notice helps protect the transferee and the party who must perform. The original party transfers a benefit but may remain responsible for obligations unless released. Question 3. While analyzing a waterfront parcel, Hector must apply the concept involving knowledge the law attributes to a person because information is available in public records or through visible possession. Which answer should be selected? Option A, material defect disclosure. Option B, underground storage tank. Option C, market allocation. Option D, constructive notice. The correct answer is option D, constructive notice. The person cannot avoid the legal effect merely by claiming not to have looked. Open occupancy by another person may also create a duty to inquire. A purchaser is expected to investigate recorded documents affecting title. Stressed about your Maryland real estate? We can take Maryland real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. Which real estate term is defined by a physical change to housing needed by a person with a disability? Option A, reasonable modification. Option B, recording. Option C, environmental site assessment. Option D, underground storage tank. The correct answer is option A, reasonable modification. The resident may be permitted to install accessibility features subject to lawful conditions. Responsibility for cost and restoration depends on the housing type and applicable law. The request should be evaluated individually rather than rejected by a blanket rule. Question 5. In a transaction involving a historic residence, which rule controls when there is a deed containing broad covenants protecting the grantee against title claims arising before and during the grantor's ownership? Option A, recording. Option B, general warranty deed. Option C, environmental site assessment. Option D, redlining. The correct answer is option B, general warranty deed. The covenants can support a claim if a covered title defect later appears. The grantor provides extensive assurances about ownership and the right to convey. The deed does not ensure physical condition or guarantee future value. Question 6. An appraiser asks about an agreement that remains enforceable unless a party with a legal right elects to rescind. Which answer provides the legally accurate concept? Option A, property management agreement. Option B, right of first refusal. Option C, voidable contract. Option D, option contract. The correct answer is option C, voidable contract. The protected party may affirm or reject the transaction depending on the circumstances. The other party cannot automatically treat the agreement as non-existent. Fraud, duress, or lack of capacity can create this status. Question 7. Nora encounters a response changing the original offer and proposing different terms during an inspection period. Which principle should guide the analysis? Option A, buyer representation agreement. Option B, lease. Option C, option contract. Option D, counteroffer. The correct answer is option D, counteroffer. A later attempt to accept the first offer may fail because it was terminated. The response rejects the original proposal unless the offeror renews it. The roles of offeror and offeree reverse for the new proposal. Question 8. Which choice best matches the description unqualified agreement to the terms of an offer communicated in the authorized manner in the property-management audit described? Option A, acceptance. Option B, bilateral contract. Option C, contingency. Option D, executory contract. The correct answer is option A, acceptance. Timing and communication rules determine when the agreement becomes binding. Silence generally does not constitute consent unless an established legal exception applies. Changing a material term normally creates a counteroffer rather than unqualified assent. Are you looking for Maryland real estate actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access Maryland Real Estate Study Guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get Maryland Real Estate Answer Key today. Question 9. During review of a rental home in Rockville, the parties discuss a person who has entered into an agency or brokerage agreement for representation. Which term applies? Option A, loyalty duty. Option B, client. Option C, designated agency. Option D, subagent. The correct answer is option B, client. The relationship should be disclosed so other parties understand the licensee's role. Compensation alone does not necessarily determine who is represented. The representative owes fiduciary obligations defined by law and the agreement. Question 10. An exam scenario presents coordinated refusal by competitors to deal with a person or business. Which answer is most accurate in the settlement preparation described? Option A, Americans with Disabilities Act. Option B, CERCLA. Option C, group boycott. Option D, constructive notice. The correct answer is option C, group boycott. The conduct can unlawfully pressure the target and restrict market access. Brokerages must make independent decisions about vendors and cooperation. Collective punishment for discounting or innovation creates substantial antitrust exposure. Question 11. A licensee preparing for a contract revision must recognize a summarized history of recorded documents affecting a parcel. Which concept does this describe? Option A, market allocation. Option B, redlining. Option C, material defect disclosure. Option D, abstract of title. The correct answer is option D, abstract of title. An attorney or title professional examines the information to evaluate marketability. The document identifies conveyances, liens, and other recorded matters in the chain of title. It is not itself an insurance policy against undiscovered defects. Question 12. Which answer correctly classifies a situation involving a contract transferring possession and use for a term while the owner retains title? Option A, lease. Option B, contingency. Option C, assignment. Option D, acceptance. The correct answer is option A, lease. The tenant receives of the rental agreement hold interest and owes duties stated in the agreement and law. The document does not convey fee ownership to the occupant. Rent, duration, maintenance, and permitted use are central terms. Question 13. At a marketing review in Cambridge, Yasmin explains a listing allowing the owner to avoid brokerage compensation by personally finding the buyer. Which real estate principle is involved? Option A, voidable contract. Option B, exclusive agency listing. Option C, executed contract. Option D, liquidated damages. The correct answer is option B, exclusive agency listing. The exact result depends on the written agreement and procuring minus cost terms. The broker earns compensation when the broker or another broker produces the buyer. The owner retains a limited right to sell without owing the agreed fee. Question 14. A transaction file for a townhouse raises an issue involving a representation relationship created by written or oral agreement. Which answer best resolves the classification? Option A, accounting duty. Option B, special agent. Option C, express agency. Option D, buyer's agent. The correct answer is option C, express agency. Real estate licensing law often requires the brokerage agreement to be written. The scope of authority is determined by the agreement and applicable law. The parties intentionally state that the agent will act for the principal. Question 15. Which concept should a landlord apply to facts involving a written contract defining the broker's duties, scope of representation, term, and compensation for a buyer-client? Option A, purchase agreement. Option B, void contract. Option C, option contract. Option D, buyer representation agreement. The correct answer is option D, buyer representation agreement. The buyer and licensee must understand potential compensation from other transaction participants. It should address exclusivity, termination, and the property or market covered. The agreement establishes agency and explains how the broker will be paid. Question 16. Priya is studying a rule concerning one agent or brokerage representative acting for both sides in the same transaction with required informed consent. Which term should be chosen? Option A, dual agent. Option B, reasonable care. Option C, client. Option D, general agent. The correct answer is option A, dual agent. The arrangement creates inherent conflicts because the parties' bargaining interests may differ. The agent must remain neutral on confidential matters and comply with state-specific authorization rules. Without valid consent, representing both sides can violate agency law. Question 17. When an office building transaction involves a non-exclusive arrangement allowing multiple brokers to seek a buyer, with compensation generally owed to the successful procuring broker, which answer identifies the controlling concept? Option A, counteroffer. Option B, open listing. Option C, voidable contract. Option D, contingency. The correct answer is option B, open listing. No single broker receives exclusive marketing authority. The owner may also retain the right to sell independently without paying a broker. Clear documentation is important because competing efforts can create compensation disputes. Question 18. A practice question describes placing an eligible document in the public land records to give constructive notice. Which response is best? Option A, time-an arrangement. Option B, quiet title action. Option C, recording. Option D, abstract of title. The correct answer is option C, recording. The public filing establishes a public chain of title and can affect priority among competing interests. Failure to record can expose the grantee to later claims. A valid deed may transfer rights between the parties before the public filing, depending on state law.
Stressed about your FCLE? We can take FCLE for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 19. During an inspection period, which principle is illustrated by an agreement among competitors to divide customers, territories, or property types? Option A, recording. Option B, reasonable modification. Option C, cloud on title. Option D, market allocation. The correct answer is option D, market allocation. Independent strategic focus is lawful when it is not based on an agreement. The arrangement reduces competition by assigning business rather than competing for it. Competitors cannot promise to stay out of one another's areas or specialties. Question 20. Which answer states the concept associated with a contract condition allowing performance obligations to depend on a specified event? Option A, contingency. Option B, property management agreement. Option C, unenforceable contract. Option D, net listing. The correct answer is option A, contingency. The party benefiting from the provision must comply with notice and deadline requirements. Failure of the condition can permit termination if the clause is properly invoked. Financing, appraisal, inspection, and sale of property conditions allocate transaction risk. Question 21. A seller handling a mixed-use property in Baltimore must identify an agent authorized through another agent who owes duties to the principal represented by the appointing brokerage. Which choice is correct? Option A, ministerial act. Option B, subagent. Option C, procuring cause. Option D, seller's agent. The correct answer is option B, subagent. The cooperating representative owes fiduciary duties to the principal even without a direct agreement with that principal. Agency status depends on the established relationship and required disclosures. The cooperating licensee does not automatically become the buyer's representative merely by working with the buyer. Question 22. During a settlement preparation for a subdivision lot in Ocean City, Amina needs to identify the rule described as a notice directing consumers to official sources for registered offender information rather than making the licensee the investigator. Which answer applies? Option A, steering. Option B, quiet title action. Option C, Megan's Law notice. Option D, material defect disclosure. The correct answer is option C, Megan's Law notice. Licensees should provide the required notice and avoid unsupported representations about individuals or neighborhoods. Consumers can consult the designated government registry for current data. The issue should be handled consistently and without discriminatory assumptions. Question 23. A closing agent is reviewing a small apartment building in Colombia. Which term describes an agreement among competitors to establish or stabilize prices or commission terms? Option A, radon. Option B, market allocation. Option C, abstract of title. Option D, price fixing. The correct answer is option D, price fixing. The agreement can be unlawful even when the chosen rate appears reasonable. Each brokerage must make independent pricing decisions. Informal conversations or coordinated minimum fees can create serious risk. Question 24. At a financing review, a Maryland exam candidate encounters the following description: something of legal value exchanged to support a contract. Which concept is being tested? Option A, consideration. Option B, lease. Option C, buyer representation agreement. Option D, option contract. The correct answer is option A, consideration. The exchange can consist of money, a promise, an act, or forbearance. Earnest money may evidence seriousness but is not always required for contract validity. Courts generally examine legal sufficiency rather than whether the bargain was economically equal. Question 25. Rena is assisting with a condominium unit transaction in Gaithersburg. Which principle applies when the facts involve a licensee engaged to represent the owner in marketing and negotiating a property? Option A, buyer's agent. Option B, seller's agent. Option C, conversion. Option D, implied agency. The correct answer is option B, seller's agent. The agency relationship should be established and disclosed in writing. The representative seeks lawful terms favorable to the owner and must protect the owner's confidential information. Known material facts still must be disclosed as required to buyers.